What if the most documented attack in modern history is still not fully understood? On the morning of September 11th, 2001, 19 terrorists associated with al-Qaeda hijacked 4 commercial airplanes in the United States. Their plan was coordinated, deliberate, and devastating. But decades later, one question still lingers. Do we truly know everything that happened that day? This is TruthScope. Today, we're breaking down the facts, the timeline, and the questions surrounding one of the most significant events of the 21st century, the September 11th attacks. We'll walk through exactly what happened, explore why some aspects still spark debate, and separate confirmed facts from speculation. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, the world watched in real time as events unfolded that would change history forever. Their plan was coordinated, deliberate, and devastating. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. At first, many believed it was a tragic accident. But just 17 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 slammed into the South Tower. In that instant, confusion turned into certainty. This was a planned attack. At 9:37 a.m., a third plane, American Airlines Flight 77, crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The United States was under attack on multiple fronts. At 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapsed less than an hour after being struck. At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower followed. The collapses sent shockwaves across New York City and around the world. Streets filled with dust and debris. Emergency responders rushed toward danger. Thousands were trapped. Nearly 3,000 people lost their lives that day, including civilians, firefighters, police officers, and first responders who ran toward danger while others fled. At 10:03 a.m., a fourth plane, United Airlines Flight 93, crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. Passengers on board, aware of the earlier attacks, fought back against the hijackers. Their actions likely prevented another target, possibly the U.S. Capitol or the White House, from being hit. Nearly 3,000 people lost their lives that day, including civilians, firefighters, police officers, and first responders who ran toward danger while others fled. Despite extensive investigations, 9/11 remains a subject of discussion and debate. How did the hijackers bypass airport security so easily? Why weren't earlier warnings enough to stop the attacks? Could anything have been done differently in those critical moments? One of the most discussed aspects is the collapse of World Trade Center Building 7, a nearby structure that fell later that day despite not being directly hit by a plane. As time passed, alternative theories began circulating, especially online. Some suggest hidden motives or undisclosed information, but it's important to approach such claims carefully. After the attacks, several official investigations were conducted. The most notable was the 9/11 Commission, which released a detailed report in 2004. It confirmed that the attacks were planned and carried out by al-Qaeda. The hijackers had entered the United States legally and trained for the operation. At the time, aviation security systems were not designed to prevent such coordinated hijackings. Further analysis by the National Institute of Standards and Technology concluded that the collapse of the towers was caused by a combination of structural damage from the impacts and intense fires that weakened the steel framework. Building 7, they determined, collapsed due to fire-induced structural failure, not explosives. Investigations also revealed intelligence failures. Different agencies had pieces of information, but those pieces were not effectively shared or connected. In simple terms, The warning signs were there, but the system failed to act on them in time. September 11th was more than a tragedy. It was a turning point that reshaped global security, foreign policy, and how nations respond to threats. But even now, more than 2 decades later, we're still asking questions and still searching for clarity. In moments of crisis, is it ever possible to know the full truth? Or are we always left with fragments, trying to piece together the bigger picture? If you found this breakdown insightful, subscribe to TruthScope for more deep dives into global events and untold stories. And in the comments, what aspect of 9/11 still raises questions for you? Until next time, stay curious,